Hey guys, so today what I've decided I'd like to do is just come on and have I don't want to say a separate channel, but like I'll put these in a separate section where I come on and just share my stories and basically what's going on in my life, my thought process, how I handled it, whether that's good or bad, and just these relatable things that maybe something like that is going on in your life and you can be like, oh yeah, that totally the other day I had that, or the other week. I know for myself, actually, that's why one of my programs is a mastermind because we don't necessarily have to do the talking to have really significant breakthroughs. Sometimes it's hearing someone else's story that we relate to, and we're like, oh my God, that's me. And then we hear what they went through, the thought process, and what maybe something that triggered them, and we can use that. Like that is super, super valuable stuff. So this new thing is just all about my story. So today I actually have a story today, but I'm going to be also coming in and talking about past things that I've been through and how it worked out. And hopefully these things will help trigger you guys, maybe breakthroughs, small growth, maybe just some extra tools you never thought of that you can use. And yeah, so we actually just got back from the vet. We had to make a couple stops. Traffic was bad. And you know what? It is really beautiful out. So that is also, I had the windows down. So I'm a little disheveled, but like they say, authenticity, that's kind of the thing everyone's into now. So it doesn't get more authentic than this. Anyway, besides the point, back to the story. Um, Tuco. We had in December 17th, Tuco had surgery for a big tumor that we found. We didn't really know was there, and it was a tumor off his spleen. And so he had that surgery. Now the recovery was next level. That might actually be a separate story in itself because I don't want to make these videos too long. Um, but we went for our follow-up appointment today to get the results of the pathology. And I will say, small backstory, guys. My doodle, I have two dogs. I have my golden doodle, and she was diagnosed with lymphoma literally 2 months ago. So, getting into the rhythm of that, dealing with that. And so today, I was really, really sure, doing all the manifesting, that his tumor, which was about this big, they sent pictures. He lost kilos. It weighed 8 pounds, I believe. Anyway, I was manifesting that was just this benign tumor. It's actually really common to get tumors, benign tumors off the spleen in older dogs. Don't know why, don't really care why. And so I was very sure that this tumor was benign, but it turns out it is the most common type of tumors that older dogs get off the spleen. And it's some sort of, what do we got here? What is this big name? Hemangiosarcoma. Hemioangiosarcoma, whatever that is. So he's got, it is a type of cancer. Thankfully, his is, there's low, medium, and high grade. His is only medium, which doesn't surprise me because that thing in his belly, when I noticed the bump coming out, it was getting bigger fairly quickly. So I actually think it's a huge positive. First positive of the day. It's not high grade, it is medium grade. So I don't want to say, I was disappointed to hear that it was cancer because now I have, two dogs with the big C. But let's be real, I feel like everyone and their dog, haha, is affected with this stuff nowadays. I think our cancer rate in Canada was something like 66%. Like crazy. 2 out of 3 people have cancer nowadays. Like it's insane. Um, so I was disappointed, but um the thing, and I use this with CISA as well when we were going through that a couple months ago, is this is what it is. This is my thought process, guys. I cannot change it. I cannot wish it to be different. Obviously, my manifesting, I did not get what I want this time. That is fine. I still manifest in a house we're building here in Mexico that he's alive and well. He's in the backyard sniffing. I visualize all this. So I know he's not going to die anytime soon. I am manifesting that he's going to, he's got many years ahead of him still. But it's now just how do we get there? Now, the oncologist did say, because again, there's no point freaking out. Like I am telling myself this, like we're dealing with facts. When it comes to big decisions, hearing news, and especially if it's going to be, bad news, emotions don't help. They just cloud thinking, they cloud judgment, they make everything worse. So I know I have to, leave emotions at the door. This is not the time and the place to get emotional. And so I'm just like, all right, we're going to take in all the facts and then kind of that problem solving and then what do we need to do? Where do we go from here? Because crying, freaking out, having anxiety, all of these, and then coming up with the what ifs, they don't help. They're not going to fix it. They're not going to solve it. They're just going to make me feel like crap. And then they're going to pick up on my energy, and they don't need that. So, what she did say, and I feel like this is positive number two, super good news, is how these tumors work is they're on the spleen. And then she says they do have a high percentage of cases with dogs with these tumors, the cancer does tend to come back in other areas. What she said is when she did the surgery, there's no sign that there's cancer anywhere else in him. He is a healthy dog otherwise. So now it's just about keeping it that way. And thankfully, she is not only an oncologist in the classic Western way, she's done all her studies in that, but she's taken all her certifications in the holistic side of oncology. And another lady, our acupuncturist, she's also very close with her and works with her to incorporate all of the Eastern medicine into it. So honestly, like her patients, if these owners, I know obviously I love Eastern medicine. I love the combination. I think that's our best way to treat humans and animals. So I think we have literally the best care possible with these two. And yeah, now it's just about making sure the cancer stays away. There's no more in his body, and we just need to keep it that way. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. What do we do now? Where do we go from here? And it's that simple, right? And that's why, guys, if you ever follow any of my stuff, I say this a lot and I will say it a ton more. Life really is simple at its core. The very basics of life are simple. We're the ones that overcomplicate it. And I always use as an example, I always use like paying a bill. Paying a bill is very simple. Now, if you don't have the money, that complicates it. Or if, things like that, those are complicating factors. But the actual thing of paying the bill is a simple act. And so, all of these different, if we take things individually of what the tasks, what the events actually are, life really is very simple if we allow it to be and keep it that way. So, even like my big guy, very simple. He currently doesn't have cancer and we need to keep it that way. Okay. What do we do? What supplements? What do we, XYZ? And then we just, that problem solving. Go from here. What do I do? I know for myself, I love to Google, I love to research. So she said one of the best supplements in her experience with this specific cancer is turkey tail mushroom. Personally, I've never heard of this. Apparently, it's well known here in Mexico. She's like, "Oh yeah, everyone knows this is a super known mushroom." And I'm like, "Okay, apparently I'm out of the loop. I've heard of a lot of different mushrooms, but that is not one of them." I know for Sisa, her main mushroom is the reishi, however you pronounce it. But apparently for him, I need to get some turkey tail. And I believe in these holistic alternative medicines. And so that's that. There's no I mean, again, I look pretty disheveled. I'm still catching up on my sleep because let me tell you, his recovery was like 3 weeks and we're already almost at 10 minutes. So I will make a separate video on that. but I am still recovering. So I'm keeping myself, my life, my makeup, everything simple and comfortable, doing extra self care for that. But yeah, I'm good. Like, because again, I can't change the facts. The facts are the facts, and that is what it is. All I can do is problem solve and do what I can, and the rest is what it is. I have to let go. I have to just accept what's going to be and know I've done everything I could. So, I mean, I really think he's going to live for many more years. But if his, you know, fate, whatever, his destiny, the universe decides that that's not what's going to happen, I can't change it. And I am going to have to accept that. But until I am proven wrong, I'm going to believe he has many more years. And I'm going to work with that and go from there because when I really do believe, guys, that when we don't have things to disprove us, when we're never going to know another truth, for example, someone honking in traffic or whatever, the best way for us, our mental state, our going forward, our being good human beings and being in a positive state so we can be nice to other people, is to believe the best case scenario. And if we're never going to know differently, or until we know differently, we're not hurting anything by believing this. So why not? Right? And that just makes our life better. It makes us happier, it makes us nicer, it just improves everything. So, I mean, if you disagree with me, definitely let me know. Leave some comments. I love to have discussions. Just so you guys know, for the record, for example, I am a tree hugger, I'm an animal lover, and I used to be so against hunting, like despised hunters, to burn all their guns. You are despicable, horrible murderers. Like, I used to be almost activist level hatred in my hunting. And then one of my massage clients said to me, like, listen, hunting is actually extremely important. He says there was one year where the deer population, there was a huge surplus. So they gave out a lot more deer tags, and that's just like permits for hunters to go get X number of deer, and they gave a lot more of those out because the options are, the hunters get the deer and harvest and feed the family. And most of my hunting clients, they use like the entire thing. And we have native tribes where you can donate all the skins and stuff, and they make clothes, they make boots, and like, so literally all of this animal gets used, right? Or alternative number two is the deer starve to death over winter. And so he's like, well, which would you prefer? A clean death and that animal to be utilized and used wholly and given back to, feed and support life, or a slow starving death in the cold? And I was like, oh my God, like, oh my God. Like, no one had ever presented me with that argument. I didn't know that side of the wildlife. Like, I had never thought about it. I didn't know about it. No one had ever told me about it. And ever since then, I was like, converted, sign me up. I'll take a few packs of deer meat if you have it. Like, where do I get on board with this? And then ever since then, I've supported, obviously, legal hunting, have your tags, clean kills, very humane, use all of the animal. And I support that. So I just want to tell that small story. I love discussing. If you wholeheartedly disagree with anything I ever say, let me know, comment. I love to I'm not above having my mind changed with good facts and a good argument. Absolutely. But this is what I know, and this is what I experience, and this is what I tell. So yeah, I hope that story helps you, whatever you're going through, that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, getting a diagnosis of cancer, for any of my babies would have had me crying and not sleeping and like the what if train of 1,000 what ifs. And that's just not where I'm at today. I've done the work, I've done the emotional work, the being in control, the nervous system regulation, all of that, to be able to take in information and be like, all right, what's our next step? And not stuff it and not ignore it, but actually process it and work with it and through it and come out and be like, all right, life is what it is. What do we got to do and see on the other side? And yeah, so I hope that really helps you. I will be sharing this, I believe, all the platforms. I'm currently on YouTube and Facebook right now. So like I said, I'm going to make this a separate channel, a separate section, a separate folder, however we say it, on all the different platforms where you can go and find these videos, and make that easier if you're just one of those people that likes kind of like that chicken soup for the soul sort of thing, where you can just kind of hear these stories if you need a lifter or need to hear something that I'm going through this. Okay. Oh, looks like she did too. I'll watch this video. That looks like it might be about it. And hopefully that helps you guys, because I mean, really, there's huge value in hearing someone's story that they've gone through something similar or the same as you, and this is how they came out the other side. Huge value. So all right, guys. 15 minutes. I definitely, that's my max. I do not ever want to go over 20. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. And I do want to say, guys, if there's anything you ever want to hear me, like, have you gone through this? Or you want to hear if I've had a story on a certain subject or a certain situation or event, put it in the comments. If you're on Facebook, DM me, whatever, get a hold of me, comment on it. I am more than happy. I'm an open book, really. So if there's something that will help you that I can share, I am more than happy to share that, for sure. And of course, guys, others, if there's other people that this would help them, share it. I think, as they say, the like, subscribe, share, do all the thumbs up, do all the things to boost. If this helps you, it'll help someone else. So by hitting the like, by leaving a comment, it really pushes it out there for more people to see, which will only help more people. So yeah, do all those wonderful things, a little extra support. Support me so I can support you. Cheesy as that sounds, it's true. And I will be back. I'm not sure, maybe tomorrow. All right, guys.